All right, cool. So, good morning, everybody. How is everybody this morning? So, this morning we are going to go to the U.S. state of Minnesota. So, by a show of hands, has anyone been to Minnesota? Anybody at all? No, but no. Oh, I thought you were raising your hand. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Of course. Don't worry, I have not been to Minnesota either. So we're gonna talk about Minnesota. So, shall we get started, you guys?
Yeah.
Let's start with the flag real quick. So it's this light blue field with the state seal on it here. You got stars, you got circles, you got Native American in the background, you have a farmer toiling the fields, you have this river, you have a forest in the back, rising sun, you have 1819, which was when it was a territory, 1893 when it became a U.S. state. All that stuff, there's so much to unpack here. And basically what people were saying was this little design for the flag of Minnesota was, what should we do? How can we encapsulate everything that represents Minnesota into one place? Well, why not stick the seal on a flag? You'll notice there's a common pattern with a lot of flags. I'm pretty sure we've seen some of them already. So that is that for the flag design. Shall we talk about location? So Minnesota is located way up here, the upper Midwest. We were just in Wisconsin. We were talking about the Dakotas. We haven't done Iowa yet, but that's coming up pretty soon. Not too soon, but pretty soon. So Minnesota is surrounded by these these four states, and then one of the Great Lakes, and then you got Canada to the north. So yes, you'll be seeing some Canadians over there who may very well be vacationing there, and then there's a chance that they might be living there too. So there's that. So let's talk about territories real quick. So you got the Wisconsin territory. This is how it started out. And then it spread all the way westward. Took me a second. They spread westward, and then all of this became one territory before it became a state. So it wasn't until, well, as we talked about in 1862, actually, in 1867, when there was a war, and then the state's territory grew much bigger, and then it became a U.S. state. So we're going to go to Minnesota today. The capital of Minnesota is St. Paul, but the largest city is Minneapolis. And you have all this land that the best way I can describe it geographically is combined with gently rolling plains that form the glaciers around the area. So there were these glaciers that melted, and then you have these little hills that encompass all of this. You have valleys, you have grasslands and prairies. The typical stuff you would find in the Midwest, but go upward. So that's that. And in case any of you are wondering where the term Minnesota comes from, well, it comes from an Old Dakota or Sioux word for Mississippi major river, and it literally translates as sky-tinted water. So there's that. Yes. Mm-hmm. Minnesota? No. Okay. Okay. Let's move on to the next slide. So, who's heard of the Great Lakes? This is one of the lakes that lies to the east of Minnesota. And so, the reason why I bring up Superior is because it's one of the Great Lakes, one of the largest lakes in the U.S. So when you talk about lakes in America, most of them are located up north. North-ish, along the Canadian border. This is a typical hotspot for hiking, camping, and because there's a lot of water here, a lot of canoeing. And yes, you'll see some boats there too. Big boats. So keep that in mind. Let's move on. So take a look at this. This is the Minneapolis Institute of Art. It is one of the largest art museums in the country. And it is home to more than 90,000 works of art, spanning 5,000 years. So if you ever wanted to look at some art that goes back well before any of us were born, there you go. And here are some examples of art pieces. So here's one of them. Whoa. Tell me if you saw this. A few days. Okay. So this is Spanish playing cards. It was painted by Joan Miró. And he was a Spanish surrealist painter, meaning that if you look at a lot of paintings right here, the imagery right here, they're usually shaped a little weirdly to the point where it does not seem real anymore. That's the whole point. So take, for example, you got this piece of paper, you lie it flat, and then when you're talking about a surrealist painting, it's bending a little more, and then you get to the point where everything just becomes a lot less realistic and a lot more something you see in a dream.
I can see that.
Yeah, so that's what surrealism is. So those of you who don't know any surrealist paintings, you probably know them. Salvador Dali, Pablo Picasso. Yeah, those are just some famous examples. So by a show of hands, who here likes paintings?
I do.
Do any of you like to paint? Yep. All right. And I think I have another example of a painting that they have here. This is called The Olive Trees Saint Remy. It was painted by Van Gogh, a very famous painter, well known for these lines, expressionist layouts. So yeah, if you ever go to the Minneapolis Institute of Art, you will find these types of paintings over here. So there you go. And let's go to the mall, shall we? If any of you like shopping, you're gonna love this. This is called the Mall of America. Yep. Mm-hmm. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Mall of America located in Bloomington. It is the largest shopping mall in the United States. It has everything. Shops, it has a whole aquarium and a whole amusement park. I am not joking about that. I think I have some of those in the next slide. Yeah?
Then here's the food court part.
Those are just examples of what it does have.
Oh.
Because there are a bunch of things it has, but those are just some of them.
Some of the exciting.
Yep. Let's take a look. So this is what it looks like on the inside. You see that? So you got escalators upon escalators upon escalators. It's got everything, you guys.
Whoa.
Take what largest shopping mall we have in Southern California and build it even bigger. Games, food, you have clothing outlets, a lot of things. And yes, that's a car down here.
This mall has kind of like a car that's being raffled or something.
Yeah. So if you want to get a new car for free, join the raffle.
What?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Let's move on to the next one. Oh, here it is, the amusement park.
Oh, wow. And that's indoor?
Yeah, all of this is indoors. This is a roller coaster. A roller coaster belonging to Nickelodeon. It's part of Nickelodeon World.
Thank you.
Yeah. So the best equivalent that I can think of is Circus Circus in Las Vegas.
I was about to say that. It kind of gives Las Vegas vibes.
Yep. So there it is. You have the roller coaster over here, and you have that, what do you call that? That swing that
The
goes
swings?
around. Yeah, the swings. And then you have a Ferris wheel in the back.
Oh, cool.
Like I said, they have a whole amusement park in here, you guys. Nickelodeon World. Yep. Yep. Do I have another picture up here?
So you said Nickelodeon?
Yeah.
So is it most likely that we could see maybe SpongeBob?
Yeah, SpongeBob and all these other Nickelodeon characters.
Wow, cool. Okay.
Oh yeah, there's the aquarium.
The jellyfish.
No, they're just fish.
Oh, okay.
No.
From here, it kind of looks.
They're not. Yeah, these are just regular fish. And yes, that's a sea turtle. They're huge. Yeah. So by a show of hands, who would go to the aquarium?
I love
Yeah, you like aquariums you get? Then you're gonna love it. Yep. So Mall of America has everything. Let's move on to what else they're known for. Legs, arts. So is the Minnesota Vikings. Guess where they're from? Minnesota. More specifically, they're from Minneapolis. And so some stats here. They've won 1 NFL championship, 4 conference championships, and 20 division championships. Go Vikings, I guess. There's another sports team that they're known for, the Minnesota Twins. So they're also a team from Minneapolis. So they're a pro baseball team, and they have won 4 World Series, 6 American League pennants, 4 division titles, 8 Central Division titles, and 1 wild card berth. So yeah, they have some serious stats on them. Well, to me, it sounds impressive. I'm just saying. Go Twins. So let's move on to our favorite subject, food. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is a blueberry walnut pancake.
Ooh, that sounds good.
If you like blueberries, you like walnuts, you're gonna love this.
Yeah, let's go to IHOP.
IHOP. They don't even serve this in IHOP. Kidding me? So yeah, best of both. Best of both. Let's talk about more food, shall we? Take a look at this. This is called the pecan caramel and cinnamon roll. So if you like pecan, if you like cinnamon rolls, if you like caramel, put them in one. That's what they got. Contrary to what you see here, they're a little bit bigger than what you see on over here. So I don't know. They're about like 4 inches, probably 4 inches thick, something like that. So let's talk about more food. This is wild rice soup. So, to those who don't know, rice can be domesticated. Rice can be, well, they can easily be cultivated in our own backyard. They are. And then let's talk about more. Who likes meatballs? Yeah. So these are Swoosh Meatballs. So once upon a time, Minnesota was a hotbed for European immigration from specifically Central and Northern Europe. So yeah, basically you will have all these immigrants come here, including those from Sweden, hence the name Swedish Meatballs, because they have their origins in Sweden. And I hear Sweden is getting a little lovely around this time of year, towards the end of summer. So I don't know about you, but I feel like I'm going to go to take a vacation at Stockholm. So yeah, let's talk about more stuff. Whoops.
Sorry.
So there's a triple layer cake. So this is basically a chocolate cake with pecan and caramel. I don't know if you guys notice a pattern here. Caramel and pecan. What do you notice a pattern? No? Okay. I'm just saying.
Yes. Cinnamon rolls.
Yeah, exactly. Seems to be a funny pattern. These people love their caramel and they love their pecan. Yep. So you're going to notice that a lot with a lot of these foods. So yeah, there you go. There's your foods. Too much sugar will give you cavities, and it'll make it hard for you to sleep.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some famous people. Recognize this guy?
I see Charlie Brown.
Charlie Brown.
Yep, Charlie Brown.
Charlie Brown.
Yeah.
This is Charles Schultz. He is the cartoonist who created the Peanuts comics. Eventually became the Charlie Brown cartoons. He's originally from Minneapolis. And this man, he ended up influencing further cartoonists like Jim Davis, who created Garfield, Bill Watterson, who created Calvin and Hobbes, and so many more. So yeah, you can see the rough sketch of, well, Charlie Brown. So let's move on to the next slide, shall we? Oh yeah, here it is.
Gang's all
The
here.
gang's all here. The Peanuts gang. So if I were to ask you to name these characters, can you guys do that?
Yeah.
No?
No.
About the only thing I can name on the top of my head: Charlie Brown, Snoopy, Woodstock. Which one of them is Linus? I don't remember. Which one of them is Lucy? I also don't.
That's what I was gonna say. One of
I think one's Lucy.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
her, the one over here.
On the end?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I don't remember either. Yeah. On the top of my head, that's about as far as I can go.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh, Carmen.
Would you be able to name them?
Huh?
Can you name?
Peppermint Patty.
Peppermint.
Sorry, gotta come back to her. Charlie.
We're doing well.
Oh, you were right, Jeremy.
Oh, this is Lucy? Okay.
What is Peppermint Patty's friend's name?
Yeah. I don't remember either.
Gosh, I can't think of that one and the one there.
Yeah, I only named one.
Wow. That's funny. I gotta find out her name now. It's good.
So, Carmen, just in time for you to get here, we were talking about Charles Schultz created comics, and that would become adapted into cartoon shows.
Nice.
And the man ended up influencing the likes of Jim Davis, the creator of Garfield, and Bill Watterson, the creator of Calvin and Hobbes.
Oh, fun.
So a lot of people look to Charles Schultz as inspiration and influence for a lot of their comics and their cartoons. And speaking of famous people, let's move on to the next one. I think you might like this. Who's this?
I don't know.
That's Bob Dylan.
Shush the front door. Wow.
That's Bob Dylan. The times they are changing. No?
Wow.
Nobody knows that? Or all along.
Okay, I messed up. The other one was Pigpen,
Okay.
and then the one I couldn't think, it was Linus. Pigpen, the one I think I called Linus was Pigpen.
Yeah. All
And
right.
then the one in the glasses is Marcy.
Marcy. Okay.
Marcy.
Yep.
And Schroeder.
Who's Schroeder?
That probably was Schroeder.
Oh.
We're gonna go back.
Okay. We're gonna go back for a sec.
Okay, so that's Patty, Marcy, Sally, Charlie Brown, Woodstock, Snoopy, Linus, Franklin, Schroeder, and Lucy.
There you go.
Yay!
Good job, Carmen.
Yay!
You did something I could not.
I participated. Now, how
So-
you doing, Bob?
Anyway, Bob Dylan. He's a American folk musician who sings and plays guitar, harmonica, and piano. He is probably best known for songs like All Along the Watchtower. Yes, Jimi Hendrix fans. And the times they are changing. And does anybody know the song Knocking on Heaven's Door?
Nope.
No?
Knock, knock.
Knocking on Heaven's Door. Yep.
Good song.
Very good song. People have covered this song time and time again. People like Eric Clapton, Jimi Hendrix, and so many more.
Yeah.
And he is so beloved by the people of Minneapolis. They made a mural of him, as we're about to see in the next slide. Take a look at this. Ready? Colors. Colors everywhere.
Beautiful.
Bob Dylan in his 3 stages of youth and as he gets older.
That's beautiful.
Yep. And this is right next to a parking lot, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, go for it.
So every time you go to Minneapolis, there's a chance you'll see this mural on the way there. Yep. Bob Dylan. Gotta love him. The most prophetic of lyricists. Someone whose songs are cryptic and they're up for interpretation. So let's talk about the people, shall we? So here's a map of Minnesota. So here is St. Paul, the capital, and right there is the large city of Minneapolis. This is where valleys and plains and by the way, I should probably mention that Minnesota is called the Lake State because it has so many lakes. So, as of 2020, there are 5 million people living in Minnesota. Most of them live in Minneapolis. So, the most common ancestries are German, Norwegian, Irish, Swedish, and English. Like I said before, I fit nowhere in those categories.
What was they again?
German, Norwegian, Irish, Swedish, and English.
Gotcha.
Like I said, I fit nowhere in those categories. So yeah, if you ever go here, you'll notice that's kind of a pattern here. Rochester, English, Winona. Okay, then maybe that's kind of Native American. Crookston is, well, West European, sort of, with Northern European origins. I don't know why I was having a hard time saying that. And then you have Duluth, obviously more Northern European. So let's conclude today's class, shall we? So here's Carmen's favorite part. Expired 2018.
I'm making a call.
Make that call to the Minnesota DMV. So it says explore Minnesota. You have the Minnesota map right over here in the middle. And then you have 10,000 lakes because that's pretty much how many lakes there are in Minnesota. Okay, over exaggerating, but the point being is that it has more than 15 lakes per se. And that's just also including Lake Superior. So let's conclude today's class, you guys. Minnesota may seem like a place not many people would think about, but it certainly stands out above that. So you don't know if you're going to cross paths with another folk musician. You don't know if you're going to come across another cartoonist. So just keep an open mind that there's a whole can-do spirit that is prevalent in American country. That's also prevalent. If you ever go to Minnesota, check out the shopping mall. Check out the mural of Bob Dylan. Everything. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I will see you on the road.
Thank you, Jeremy. Nice.